So let us discuss the concept of half-life period for the first order reaction. First we will discuss, we are in running discussing the first order, therefore we will discuss it first for first order reaction. First order reaction. First I will go for the change in integral form of the equation, then we will discuss it. We have an equation for the first order that k equal to 2.303 upon t log of to the base 10 A0 upon concentration 80. Now the half life means the time is been half, and this is the time required for the initial concentration to be reduced to its 1/2. Say for example we have initial concentration as a 1 at a time t equal to 0. In its first t half, t 1/2, t 1/2, first t half, this is initially 1. After the first t 1/2, the concentration will reduce to half, it will become 1/2. Now for the next one t half, t 1.5, now the concentration will become half of this amount and it will be 1/4. If we still proceed, then for next t half, this is first t half, we can say this is second t half. For third t 1.5, now the concentration will be reduced to 1/2 of this. Considering this as an initial, it will remain 1/8. By this way, this method we can also calculate the order of the reaction. Here, even if the reaction concentration is reduced to 1/2, then also the order of the reaction can be calculated. That is the advantage of this. Now put the values. The concentration AT at t half will be equal to A0 upon 2, and time t will be equal to t 1/2. Putting these values, the equation will become k equal to 2.303 upon t half log of to the base 10 A0 upon A0 divided by 2. I will rearrange this equation. t 1/2 will be equal to 2.303 divided by k, and it will be log of to the base 10 2. And now taking the log of value 2, which is 0.301, t half will be equal to 2.303 upon k, and it is 0.301. We can have t half equal to 0.693 upon k. Now what is the conclusion? The conclusion from the half-life period indicates that if the time required for the half of the reactant concentration to reduce its half, and time required for that is found to be independent of initial concentration. This equation does not have any term related with a concentration, therefore it is said to be independent of the concentration of the reactant. So therefore, if we get a half-life time for certain reaction which has been experimentally performed, and if we get the half-life period by this equation 0.693 upon k, and if we find that the half-life time is independent of concentration, we can confirm that the reaction is a first order reaction. So by first order reactions, can also be determined by this equation, by this relationship of half-life period. Now, this half-life period time can also be used for determining the order of the reaction, and the equation can be written for that purpose. I will write it here. T half is directly proportional to 1 upon concentration of A raised to n minus 1. This has not been given in our textbook, n minus 1. Now, if we can have the initial concentrations, suppose we have a reactant A plus B giving some product, and if we have initial concentration of A, reactant A as a C1 and reactant B as a C2, we can determine the order of the reaction. For that purpose, say T1 half for one reactant, say, that is say reactant A. I will write here A plus B giving the product. Now this is the half-life period for with respect to reactant A. With respect to reactant B, I take it half-life period as A, this I will give subscript 1, this 2 is equal to 1 upon, instead of that I will taking the inverse of it, and I can write it directly. If C1 is the concentration of A and C2 is the concentration of B, we will get directly C2 upon C1 raised to n minus 1, and then by putting the half-life period of the two reactants and their initial concentration, we can calculate the value of n, and n will be nothing but the order of the reaction. Order of the reaction. This is one method by which also mathematically we can calculate the order of the reaction. So the concept of half-life period also is being utilized mathematically in determining the order of the reaction. And now we will last go for the concept of half-life period for zero order reaction. We will write equation for zero order. I will keep it here for first order. Now for zero order, we will conclude with zero order. Zero order. For that purpose, write the equation that we have obtained for zero order. The concentration AT at a time T that we have obtained, we have yesterday derived this concentration. For this AT is equal to minus KT plus A0, the initial concentration. A0 initial concentration, AT is the concentration at time T, T is the time, this is one function, this is another function, this is the rate constant K. Now again, for half-life period, as we have already studied T half, at this condition, the concentration of AT will become concentration initial divided by 2, and the time will become T1 half. T1 half, and putting this value in the equation, we will be having concentration A0 upon 2 equal to minus K into T plus T is to be represented as a T 1 by 2 T half plus A0. Now I can take this to this side. K multiplied by T half will be equal to A0 minus A0 upon 2, and therefore K multiplied by T1 half will be equal to 2 will be multiplied here, you will be getting A0 upon 2, and after simplifying writing t1 half here, we can have an equation. The equations will be same. We are just writing it in simple form. t1 half is equal to a0 upon 2 into k. This is the equation for zeroth order reaction with respect to half-life period. If we determine the half-life period and if it satisfies the equation a0 upon 2k, that means the half-life period for the zeroth order reaction always depend upon a0, while for first order reaction it is independent of the initial concentration. And by this mathematical way, that means by using half-life methods also, we can determine the order of the reaction. This way we have studied the half-life method for the determination of order of the reaction. Of course, for first order reaction, I will tell you that one more equation which is required for solving the numericals is the amount of the substance which is left behind, amount of reactant left behind is always given by an equation for first order by an equation a0 divided by 2 raised to n. I will write it here. For first order reaction, there is one more equation for particularly for either solving the numericals very easily, is the amount of substance, amount left behind is always equal to concentration A0 upon 2 raised to n, when n is the order of the reaction here, order of reaction. And if we take the A0, if the numerical is speaking in terms of a fraction, say it is talking about a fraction, then A0 should be taken as a 1, and in that case it will be equal to 1 upon 2 raised to n. And for one more thing for your understanding, that after first half-life it will be equal to 1 by 2. After second half-life it will be 1 by 4. That will be remained behind. That means the amount which will be reacted, that means reaction will be completed 3/4. By that way we can proceed and study it, and these are the ways of determining the order of reaction mathematically using the integrated rate law equations, using the graphical method, and the third one is the half-life method. Therefore, in science, after even experimentation, nothing is been concluded simply in one way, but it is to be concluded by different ways. Completing the experiment one way, then calculating it using an integrated rate law equation, then confirming it with a graphical method, and then confirming it with a half-life period. So by these all different methods, we study the order of the